Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the essence of no half steppin'. I am your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier, and welcome into the Renegades of Puck podcast. Before we get started on the no half steppin' hockey coverage, let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the Renegades of Puck. And once you do that, you can click on that merchandise tab. Then you'll find the classic logo t-shirt, our Pride logo t-shirts, and about 7 other lines of t-shirts. That's right. We've sold out, so you can buy in, but it's not just t-shirts. It's also all the great gimmicks you come to love and expect from the Renegades of Puck. Throw pillows, socks, wall art, bed sets. You can outfit your entire home with Renegades of Puck merchandise. You should. I certainly have. Again, the Renegades of Puck have sold out simply so that you can buy in, invest in the Renegades of Puck today. Thank you so much for picking up that merchandise, all of you great Renegades out there. Social media is an easy way that you can help the operation here known as the Renegades of Puck. You can find us across numerous platforms: Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Very easy to find us there. We live stream on Twitch when we record our episodes. Then you can find the podcast on YouTube. You can also find the audio version podcast on Stitcher, on Google, on Spotify, and in so many other places. The Renegades of Puck are now available on more platforms than we have ever been at any time in the history of our existence. And that goes back, of course, over 670 shows now. So please, it doesn't take you but a second. It doesn't cost you anything. But helping us out on social media with a like, a subscription, or a comment, that goes a long way to helping build up our operation to where we need to go. We now have 191 subscribers on YouTube. Let's get that number up to 200. Venmo, an easy way to become a partner and sponsor of the show. You can go there and just search Renegades of Puck and scan the QR code that's on your screen. We've made it that easy. Any donation goes a long way to helping the Renegades of Puck. Got a great donation from a mysterious benefactor over the weekend, and that's going to go a long way to helping us with something that we're working on. Not ready to start telling you about the details yet, but we're always up to something here in the bunker and in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. So that's Venmo, Renegades of Puck. Just scan the QR code that's currently on your screen. Stick taps, love, and respect to anyone willing to support what we are doing here. Building a hockey community on positivity is not an easy thing to do. So stick taps, love, and respect to each and every one of you. Now, it's time for me to deliver the no half step in hockey coverage. So let's deliver the goods for operation number 671. That's right, show number 671 for the Renegades of Puck. And on this day in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 6th place in the Central Division after 9 games played. Record of 3-5-1, 7 points. They are 4 points behind the Dallas Stars. That is actually good news. The 2 head-to-head losses to Dallas are the reason they're 4 points behind the Stars, so that's easily understandable. Maybe the scary part right here, though, is that the Arizona Coyotes are only 2 points behind the Nashville Predators and will play another game before the Preds take the ice. The Nashville Predators could find themselves in the bottom of the Central Division before they even take the ice again in the next game that we're about to preview. On the road, where the Nashville Predators' next game will take place and several games in a row will take place, the Nashville Predators are 1-2-0 on the season. They've scored 22 goals. They've given up 29 against. That's a goal differential of -7. Now, the Nashville Predators' next game is not going to be an easy one. For several years, going into Edmonton was no big deal for the Nashville Predators, but that was before Draisaitl and McDavid. Now that that era has begun, going into Nashville truly is a house of horrors, and it's going to come a day after Halloween. The Nashville Predators are in Edmonton next to face off against the Oilers. Of course, the Oilers at this point in the season are 6-3-0. They've got 12 points. They're second in the Pacific, just barely behind the Vegas Golden Knights. 3-3 on home ice, a goal differential of +6. I'll take you through some of the Oilers' numbers, then we'll talk about the Nashville Predators. 10-22, 2-0 loss versus St. Louis, and then the beginning of a winning streak for the Oilers. On the 24th, a 6-3 win versus Pittsburgh, and then the sweep of a 3-game road trip, 3-1 over St. Louis, 6-5 at Chicago, and 3-2 at Calgary. And now the Edmonton Oilers will head on home for the next couple of games, welcoming in the Nashville Predators as their first opponent. The Edmonton Oilers and Nashville Predators will play a total of 3 times this season, this being the first game. December will actually come to the conclusion of the season series between these two teams. On the 13th and the 19th of December, the Nashville Predators will face off against the Edmonton Oilers both times at Bridgestone Arena. And then these two teams, unless they end up meeting for a best of 7 in the springtime in the playoffs, will not play again until next season. Now, once the Preds wrap up this first game of the road trip in Edmonton. Thursday, they will be in Calgary. Saturday in Vancouver. The 8th of November at Seattle. And the 10th of November is when the road trip closes out in Colorado. That's going to be an incredibly big and important division game. The Colorado Avalanche, of course, last year's Stanley Cup champion, knocked the Nashville Predators out with a sweep in the first round of the playoffs. The Nashville Predators will be their first opportunity to go up against the Colorado Avalanche since that series. And the Preds are back home on November the 12th against the New York Rangers from the Eastern Conference. This is the road trip where the Nashville Predators typically, if they haven't gotten it together, start to form and start to gel and start to show some more results. Late night hockey off in the distance, out of people's minds for a couple of days. Maybe it's enough for the Nashville Predators to take a deep breath and start to get some consistency and identity back into their game. So the Nashville Predators, the first of 5 road games. It's the CMA road trip. It happens every year right on schedule, and we typically base our coverage around it. In the past, we weren't so critical before the CMA road trip because we knew the CMA road trip was the opportunity for the team to come together, and then normally after that is when we became hypercritical. This season, because of how things began, we've been hypercritical, and frankly, everyone's been a little bit frustrated with the situation since the season began, since the Nashville Predators came back from sweeping the San Jose Sharks in the Global Series. Let's take you through the numbers in this matchup and show you how the two teams stack up, and as you will probably anticipate, the Edmonton Oilers are going to be ahead in most of these statistical metrics. Goals for, of course, the Oilers are always going to be ahead of the Predators. 3.11 per game, third best overall in the NHL. The Oilers have been one of the top offensive teams in the NHL with some of the top offensive players in the NHL for the last couple of seasons. I mean, that's the easiest thing about the NHL to talk about. Goals for 2.44 for the Predators is 26th in the NHL. Bottom third metric is not going to win you very many games in that category. In the goals against category, these two teams are actually even at 3.11 per game. But of course, the big difference is the Edmonton Oilers can overcome any goals against deficit, while the Nashville Predators have struggled to put consistent scoring on the board. In shots for, the Edmonton Oilers are generating 33 per game on net. That's good for 11th in the NHL. Predators are generating 30.9 per game. That is 17th in the league. Shots against, the Preds are at 15th. The Oilers are 28th. Again, they give up a lot of shots against. The number's 35 per game. They give up a lot of goals against, 3.11, but yet they have a 6-3 record and are in second place and are just about to overcome Vegas for first place. Special teams, of course, this is going to be one of the pivotal moments in the game. The Nashville Predators simply cannot take penalties against the Edmonton Oilers. You know that they are going to because they are prone to taking penalties against the Oilers, but here's how the special teams matchup breaks down. The power play for the Nashville Predators is 8.3% on the season, 31st out of 32 clubs in the NHL. They've only converted 3 times out of 36 opportunities. Honestly, the Preds' power play cannot be relied upon at this point in the season, and it should be able to be relied upon. Every NHL team should be able to rely upon their power play to go ahead and get them an advantage. After all, it's basic. You have one more player than the other team. Put together a couple of crisp passes, the puck should be in the back of the net. Special teams, though, the Edmonton Oilers, and this is no shock whatsoever. Their power play is converting at 33.3%. That's second best in the NHL, 11 times already this season out of 33 opportunities. The PK, again, this is another one of those metrics that's deceiving. For most teams, you say their PK is 21st, their goals against is 21st, their shots against is 28th. You see a trend developing, and you see a team that's probably on the losing side of games most nights. But this Oilers team is so offensively stacked, they can overcome all of these metrics. So I'm giving you these metrics basically just so you know what they are, but you also know that Edmonton can overcome this at any time. Their penalty kill is 21st in the NHL. They've given up 10 power play goals against. Nashville Predators have given up 5 power play goals against on the season. Their 6th best penalty kill in the NHL, 84.9% on the kill rate. Listen, when it comes to individual players and stats, anytime you put the Edmonton Oilers on one side of the ledger and any other NHL club on the other side of the ledger, it is going to be a dramatic difference, and this is absolutely going to tell that same story right here. Philip Forsberg leads the Nashville Predators in scoring with 7 points, 2 goals and 5 assists. Matt Duchene, 2 goals and 5 assists for 7 points. Mikhail Granlund, 1 goal and 6 assists for 7 points. Nino Niederreiter, 4 and 1 for 5. Johansson, 3 and 2 for 5. Over on the other side of the ledger now, Connor McDavid, of course, leads the team in scoring. 9 goals, 9 assists, 18 points. Leon Draisaitl, 4 goals, 12 assists for 16 points. Hyman, 6 and 5 for 11. Nugent Hopkins, 5 and 6 for 11. And Evander Kane, 2 and 6 for 8. So the 5th place scorer for the Edmonton Oilers would be leading the Nashville Predators. They played the same number of games, 9 on the season. It is always going to be a dramatic difference for the individual offensive statistics for the Edmonton Oilers. As long as McDavid and Draisaitl are a part of that team together, this team is going to be the best offensive juggernaut in the NHL in this age and era. Now, counting on UC Saros to stop the Edmonton Oilers, let me give you his season numbers. 2-4-1, a .910 save percentage, 2.75 goals against average. UC Saros has had a bad habit of starting seasons cold and then getting red hot to the point where he can become a Vezina finalist. This is another one of those cycles where he's starting off the season very cold. Those numbers are barely NHL quality. .910, 2.75, a losing record. He was a Vezina finalist just a year ago. The Nashville Predators goaltending is not the main issue right now. It is a team-wide problem with this team. Looking at the goaltenders on the other side, Campbell's 4-2, but his numbers not looking so great. Again, numbers that can be easily overcome by the Edmonton Oilers. That's really the storyline anytime you go into face-off against the Oilers. .888 save percentage, 3.89 goals against average. Now, Skinner, 2-1 record on the season, .955 save percentage, 1.59 goals against average. No idea which goaltender is going to get the start in this game, but the Nashville Predators are going to have to work very hard, and they're going to have to score goals if they want any chance to beat the Edmonton Oilers. And it's frankly just not something that they've been doing with any consistent regularity in the game we're about to talk about and recap. You'll get a good indication of that very thing. That gets you all set up for the Nashville Predators' next game against the Edmonton Oilers. Now it's time to go back and review and recap the previous game for the Nashville Predators. We call it the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap. Let me go right into it. Rebirth Sports. Check out their work at rebirthsports.com. Just placed an order with Doug and the fellas over there at Rebirth Sports, and I cannot wait to get those brand new hoodies. First time they will be available. I will have the first one with Captain C on the front, my name and number on the back. These hoodies are incredible. Can't wait for you guys to get to see them. Got some more jerseys coming in soon. You see me wearing the third jersey here in the bunker today. You see me wearing the home jersey, the road jersey. We have 3 jerseys for the Renegades of Puck, thanks to Rebirth Sports, who has taken my visions and turned them into a reality. That's exactly what they can do for you and your organization and your operation. They're not jersey makers. They're hockey tailors. And believe me, they are incredible when it comes to the business side of things, the customer service side of things, and they have incredible patience. They know they are dealing with people that are trying to find the perfect jersey, and you're going to find it at Rebirth Sports. Check out their work, rebirthsports.com. Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap. We go all the way back to 10/29 of the year 2022. Nashville Predators welcoming the Washington Capitals to close out their homestand at Bridgestone Arena. John Hines deploys his lines in the following way. Forsberg, Johansson, and Duchesne make up your first line. Niederreiter, Glass, and Granlund, Trennan, Sissons, and Chanot make up the third line. Smith, Sanford, McCarron make up your fourth line. Yossi and Fabro, Ekholm, Carrier, McDonough, and Luzon make up your defensive pairings. It should sound familiar because it's the same lineup that played the other night and defeated the St. Louis Blues. UC Saros gets the start in net. We are 13 seconds into the game. Darcy Kemper comes up with a save on Trennan. First shot on goal of the game. Trennan driving the net hard for the scoring opportunity. 1:38 of the first period. Duchesne's jam attempt is stopped by Kemper. 2:03. UC Saros comes up with his first save of the game. 2:31 of the first period. Johnson hits the iron after the Preds turnover in the D zone. 3:17. Saros comes up with a save on Ovechkin at close range. 4:50 of the first period. Nashville Predators are off to the box. Too many men on the ice. Bench minor. Ovechkin in his office with the one-timer stopped by UC Saros. 3 total shots on goal for the Caps. Plenty of good zone time, but the Nashville Predators PK on UC Saros are able to hold and maintain. 8:25 of the first period. Tanner Jeannot one-timer has to be stopped by Kemper. 9:26. Saros comes up with a save on Mantha. 11:06. Saros again on Mantha, this time on the breakaway, plus the rebound chance while on his back, keeping the arm and glove extended along the goal line. He keeps the puck from sliding into the net. This is what we talk about when we talk about UC Saros having otherworldly tracking. He never lost sight or focus on the puck. He never lost his body positioning. And to see the overhead view of this, you could hear it on the broadcast. Chris Mason, former NHL goaltender, current Nashville Predators broadcaster, was highly impressed by the work UC Saros did on this save. Back-to-back huge saves on Mantha. Now the Nashville Predators move on. 13:31 of the first period. Kemper comes up with a stop on Forsberg's redirect. Heavy traffic in front of Kemper. He does a good job of tracking the puck right there. 14:32. Strome's off to the box. box. 2 minutes for hooking. Captain Romagnosi hits the post from out high. Not much other than that going on. The second unit comes out and does not perform up to standards for the power play. Washington outshoots Nashville 15-11 in the first period. We go to the clean sheet in the second period. 23 seconds in, it's Darcy Kemper coming up with a save on Ryan Johansson, 4:53. Smith can't connect on a great setup in the slot. Cole Smith absolutely should have converted on this scoring opportunity. He has missed 3 golden scoring opportunities in the last 2 games at Bridgestone Arena. 5:52. Jensen's off to the box for 2 minutes. Kemper robs Forsberg on the delayed call. Kemper, as a matter of fact, stops Janot's redirect then on the power play. Kemper holding strong in his crease. 8:04 of the second period. UC Saros comes up with a save on Jensen fresh out of the box. 11:26. Carey is off to the box. 2 minutes for interference. Strong PK. Good zone denial by the Nashville Predators. But at 12:49, Malenstein's first goal of the season, second goal of his NHL career, gives the Washington Capitals a 1-0 lead on Bridgestone Arena ice. It was the fourth line out there bringing the jam, and it was Dowd setting up the cross-crease pass for the tap-in goal. It looked like the Caps' first line was out there, but it was the fourth line. They were working hard, and they got rewarded by picking up the goal. Much like the Nashville Predators did against the St. Louis Blues the other night, exactly what the Washington Capitals did this time against the Nashville Predators at 15:40 of the second period. Too many men penalty, this time bench minor on the Washington Capitals. Preds only able to generate 1 shot on goal on the power play, simply not getting it done. 18:01. Janot's off the box, 2 minutes for high sticking. We hit the end of the second period as the Capitals are unable to convert on their power play. Washington out shooting Nashville 26-21. We go into the third period. We're 1 minute and 30 seconds onto the clean sheet of the third. Kemper comes with the glove save on the captain, Romagnosi. 3:49. Darcy Kemper comes up with a save on Sanford from distance, but no traffic in front. 6:44 of the third period. Proto's second goal of the season. It was a rebound put back from a low slot opportunity. Washington now with a 2-goal lead over the Nashville Predators at Bridgestone Arena, and clearly a lot of Capitals fans made their trip to Nashville this weekend because they erupted on this goal score. 9:26 of the third period. Eller's off the box. 2 minutes for hooking the Preds. Another power play and an opportunity to get back in the game, but they cannot find a dial-up connection on this one, and we expire after 2 minutes. 12:21 into the third period. Saros comes up with a save on Kuznetsov. 13:46. Kemper comes with a save on Niederreiter, jamming the net hard off the rush. 16:14. Kemper, another save, this time on Forsberg. 17:15. Ovechkin with the empty net goal. His 4th goal of the season, and that inches him 1 goal closer to the all-time record of Wayne Gretzky. 3-0 in favor of the Capitals after Alex Ovechkin scores that empty net goal. At 17:52, we would see Van Riemsdyk go off for 2 minutes for cross-checking Nashville Predators, once again unable to convert even in garbage time. They get shut out on home ice. They get outshot 35-34. Overall, a bad night at the rink for the fans, the players, and anyone associated with that hockey game. Getting shut out on home ice on a Saturday night is a brutal way to close out a 3-game homestand. All of the good vibes, all of the good feelings, the momentum of the 6-2 victory over the St. Louis Blues washed away in 60 minutes of scoreless hockey by the home team. Nashville Predators have an opportunity on this road trip, 5 games away from the prying eyes and the microscope and the microphones that do talk about them. They'll get an opportunity to go out west and get their shit together. And if they don't do that, by the time they come back, there may not be very many people in the rink there to watch. That was the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We do have some limited analysis coming up. Brian Baston will join me. He'll talk about the analytics numbers. Something very cool happened with Brian Baston in this game. I wish we could spend more time celebrating it, but we will talk about it, and we will celebrate it amongst ourselves. But unfortunately, something that, cool for Brian, personally, professionally, but with the game going the way it was, it kind of limits the fun here on the show. Rebirth Sports full game recap, back with the analysis coming up in just a second. UC Saros in this game, 32 out of 34, and it's hard to critique the netminder for the Nashville Predators. His numbers are not that great on the season, 2-4-1-9, 10 save percentage, 2.75 goals against average. But at this point in time, the team in front of him is simply not playing good enough. They didn't score a goal in the game. There's no opportunity for the goaltender to win a game when the team can't score a goal in front of him. He held the Nashville Predators in this game like a professional as long as he could. But right now, the Nashville Predators are giving no support. They're giving no offensive support, no defensive support, and the goaltending is not going to be able to get to where it needs to be until those other things start to come into alignment. The Nashville Predators, again, the theme for the rest of the way is going to be opportunity on this upcoming 5-game road trip. I'm not even going to say they need to get X number of points in these 5 games. What they need to do is get back on course and reconfigure and get back to what they do best, playing good, tough, physical hockey. We've seen very little of that in the last couple of games. The St. Louis game seemed to be one of those, and the Nashville Predators came out on top 6-2 in that one. So hard to critique UC Saros at this point in time. Hey, listen, Nostradamus 2 weeks ago goes off. He sends me a message. He goes, I've got a Greek wedding. It's been in the works for a long time. These are great friends. He said it's really a big thing. And I understand Greg. I understand Nostradamus. I understand the culture. And I have got to tell you, I anticipated Nostradamus being gone because of the after effects of going to a very, very large Greek wedding and celebration. I anticipated him being out of action for a brief amount of time, but it looks like, and I'm being 100% serious about this, I'm going to have to put Nostradamus on long-term IR at this time. It's a tough decision as a GM to make, but he's simply not come back yet. He's not ready. I can't put him in the lineup yet. He hasn't quite made it back from the wedding yet. So we'll get back to you on that later. Nostradamus, hope you're doing well, my friend. I know you're keeping up with the episodes while you're out there on the road, and we look forward to getting you back in the trenches soon. Right now, I don't have any goaltending breakdown to do for you. We will later on. We know that'll happen. So Nostradamus, hope you're doing all right, my friend. That wedding, man, I wish you would have invited me. I could have missed the last couple weeks of this hockey. Strong Style Fitness is an incredible partner here at the Renegades of Puck. Check out their work, strongstylefitness.com. That's right, I still have to look over there. At Strong Style Fit on Twitter, also Facebook, Instagram. Very easy to find 150 workouts by a certified personal trainer. Tracy does a great job, whether it is your first steps off of the couch into your journey of fitness or you've been at it for years like a pro. There is a designed workout set and ready for you that you can check out on demand. A certified personal trainer in this day and age when everything has become so expensive, willing to make their work free for you because they want you to be healthy and motivated and happy. And that's exactly what happens when you get involved with Strong Style Fitness. I've seen the results for myself. I've seen the results with other Renegades. Check them out, Strong Style Fitness today. They're willing to jump in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. That alone deserves a follow. Let's talk about what this road trip presents. I made one point. I just put no goals and a question mark, and not the way to close out a homestand. What analysis am I supposed to deliver on this pathetic offensive performance on home ice where the Nashville Predators couldn't break through on their former head coach, Peter Laviolette? There's not any real analysis to give. The Nashville Predators simply weren't in the game last night, really at any point in time. So I'm going to go on, flip to the other side of that coin, and take the positive spin here. The road trip presents an opportunity. 10 games, 5 games, 10 points. I'm not worried about the number of points. I'm worried about the quality of play and the results on this road trip. I want to see the Nashville Predators get back to the hockey that we have known them when they've been successful under John Hines. It is physical, intimidating hockey, and the Nashville Predators go out there and they get the job done. They bring the jam and they go in the hard areas in the trenches. They win battles. They get pucks in the net. Against St. Louis, you saw exactly how it can work and be successful. The fourth line gets a couple of goals in that game. It was a great game for the Nashville Predators. It was one night where you could take a deep breath, but now Nashville Predators fan base holding their breath yet again. So the road trip does present an opportunity, and I hope that the Nashville Predators sees that opportunity. We've seen it happen in the past on the CMA road trip, and we may see it happen again this season. Stay tuned. We'll keep covering it right here on Renegades of Puck. Brian Baston's in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck today. He's got the charts you need to see, the numbers you need to know, and those charts and those numbers are now being seen and heard by more people than they have ever been heard from before. And I wanted to thank the broadcast team over with the Nashville Predators, especially Willie Nonick, for making that happen. Brian from ontheforecheck.com, he's going to fill you in on exactly what I just set up, and then we're going to show you a little clip during Brian's segment. He's Brian Baston from ontheforecheck.com, and he's up right now.
Thanks a lot, Charlie. I'm here at Bridgestone Arena on Halloween, or at least everybody was celebrating Halloween. And the spookiest thing about it was not the costumes. Unfortunately, it was the Predators' power play. And that's going to be the topic of tonight's One Big Stat. Now, Nashville did, despite the score, Nashville did a lot of good things at 5-on-5. They had 10 high-danger chances, but unfortunately, they just couldn't finish. Another thing that they did well at 5-on-5 is 60% of their shot attempts were on net, which is much better than their average so far this season. However, on the power play, they only had 6 shots on goal on 18 attempts, which is 33% being on target. The league average on the power play so far this season is 55.1, and folks, that's just not going to do it. I know that Peter Laviolette was in the building with Kevin McCarthy, and maybe they just wanted to show off what the power play used to look like, but right now they are 3 for 36 on the season, which is almost 30th in the league so far, and they've got to do something. They have to switch up because there's no net front movement, and if you don't have net front movement, you're not going to score on the power play, and that's tonight's one big stat.
Here's Willie, you always got some great stats for us. I'm interested to know what you got this one.
Well, Lindsay, what we're going to do is marry the eye test that Hal and Mace just sort of brought to you, and it lines right up with the analytics. And that's what we try to do here, is take a look at some of the numbers on a second level and see what they say to try to dissect where the issues are tonight. And let me thank Jacob Underwood from our staff who looked at the Sport Logic numbers. I checked in with Brian Baston from On the Forecheck. So here is what we're looking at. 5-on-5, the Predators, especially in the first 2 periods, had a lot of great chances. In fact, they hit the net on 24 out of their 40 shot attempts. And that was something that Mace was really looking for. Get those shots through. In fact, they got 10 shots from the slot. That's the most dangerous area on the ice. You heard Michael McCarron talking about it with Kara Hammer. Get the puck to the blue ice. Get into the slot. Well, they got 10. Most nights, you should score some there. That's where you got to tip your hat to Darcy Kemper. Now, where the Predators have to do better, you just heard Hal and Mace talking about the power play. 0 for 5 tonight. A big key power play goal somewhere along the line might have changed the game. It just hasn't happened for them this year. And tonight, they didn't get enough chances. 18 shot attempts, only 6 on net. 33%. The league average in that area is 55%. And here's the biggest stat from Sport Logic. Only 1 shot from the slot on the 5 power play attempts. That's just not good enough. So back to the drawing board. Nashville now 3 for 36 on the power play. It was such a weapon for them last year, and they've got to find a way to get it on track as they go out to the road. Let's go back down to Lindsay.
His charts are now being seen by more people than ever. His numbers are being known by more people than ever. Brian Baston reaching a wider audience thanks to the Nashville Predators television broadcast crew. Stick taps, love, and respect to each and every one of you. I know each and every one of you professionally. I know some of you personally, and I wish you all the best and success the rest of the season on the broadcast team. Please utilize Brian the same way that I have. He will deliver the goods for you in every way. He understands the numbers the way few do, and he understands the game. Brian Baston's one hell of an asset here to the Renegades of Puck. And that's exactly why I recruited him and brought him here. Brian Baston right there from ontheforecheck.com. Stripe Digital Solutions. Just want to tell you about Stripe Digital Solutions very quickly. StripeDigitalSolutions.com. Social media, of course, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. The crest, the logo on the wall, the crest on the jersey, the website, our social media. Everything that we're doing here with the Renegades of Puck is being successful because of our strong partnership in the digital realm. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me understand so many different concepts that you need to understand as a small business owner and operator in the current world as it exists today. You can put in all the hours and you can put in all the effort and have all the creativity in the world. But at the end of the day, if nobody sees it, nobody hears it, and nobody knows about it, all you're doing is wasting your time. Get a strong digital partner that can get your work in front of the most amount of people today. That way, your work, your creativity, your time invested can be rewarded. Just have a conversation with Stripe Digital Solutions today and find out how they can help make your operations streamline and work as effectively as the Renegades of Puck do. You wouldn't even begin to understand just how important Stripe Digital Solutions is to the Renegades of Puck and our success. Pointless to go over the box score. I put a big old box right around all where there's 0 points. Lots of zeros. The only thing I circled in the box score was that Tanner Jeannot had 7 hits in the game. Always good to see Tanner Jeannot knocking people off their skates. Mikhail Granlund, of course, led the forwards in time on ice, 1947. Matthias Ekholm actually led the overall team in total time skated, 23-26 out there. But the box score, there's literally full of zeros and minuses for the Nashville Predators. Very little to talk about about, so it is pointless to continue holding that sheet and moving forward on that topic. Going to go ahead and talk to you about our Vegas road trip of a lifetime. It's inching closer and closer every day. Spots are starting to fill up. Remember, this is a limited and exclusive road trip, but you can join the Renegades of Puck through our partnership with Ships and Trips Travel on the road trip of a lifetime to Las Vegas for New Year's Eve to watch the Nashville Predators take on the Vegas Golden Knights and then celebrate New Year's Eve in Las Vegas, Renegades of Puck style. We are looking forward to getting out there and meeting and greeting and partying with each and every one of you. I mean, after all, whatever happens in Vegas is going to come back and be reported on this show. So we're going to go have a good time, and we're really going to blow out the year 2022 and welcome in 2023. It's the road trip of a lifetime. Go to renegadesofpuck.com/Vegas to learn more, or go to shipsandtripstravel.com and you'll be able to sign up and register and get your spot reserved. And please do so as soon as possible. And if you're looking for that incredible gift for the hockey fanatic in your life, a road trip to Vegas to see the Preds play the Golden Knights on New Year's Eve is a pretty good suggestion. Go ahead and use that one. Get in touch, Ships and Trips Travel today, and let them know you want to join us for the road trip of a lifetime in Las Vegas. I'm not going to go back and talk about the Nashville Predators being shut out by the Washington Capitals anymore. And we've already previewed the upcoming games. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about something incredibly unique, incredibly fun, and something I am incredibly proud of that has taken place over the last 24 hours or so here in the Nashville area, or as I've been saying numerous times over the weekend, just a few miles from downtown Nashville, located in Nolensville, Tennessee. The Nashville Spartans are a brand new hockey experience brought to the USPHL. That's right. As the new voice of the Nashville Spartans Hockey Club in both the elite and premier divisions, today I made my debut on Hockey TV, calling as a play-by-play voice my first ever hockey game. Limited experience in the past, years of experience on a microphone, as all of you know, but doing play-by-play Pete Weber style, that's always going to be a little bit different. I will man the booth solo for the entire season for the Nashville Spartans, and I called 4 total games. Over the weekend, the Spartans went 3-1 over the Columbia Infantry. And this weekend, the USPHL, there is some exciting hockey going on in that league, and now you can find that hockey right here in the Middle Tennessee area. Just another addition to the thriving hockey community that we have here, from youth programs all the way up through high school, college, rec league programs where you can barely even find any ice time anymore. And now the USPHL and the NHL are here in Nashville, a thriving hockey community. There's so many reasons already to come visit us here in Middle Tennessee, in Nashville, but now the Spartans are a whole new hockey experience you'll want to come check out. I am so proud of the very, very small part that I played. I am simply the narrator, the storyteller, the tour guide, and the witness to what happens on the ice from my position on the perch, as you can see right here on the screen. Thank you to Colby Collier, media director for the Nashville Spartans, for snapping this picture of myself and my cameraman Clay Wood up there in the perch, suspended 14 feet above the ice. We are over the glass and extended out almost over the ice, giving a vantage point that few broadcasters have ever had. I get to stand the entire game, wear the headset, and call every single play on my own. It is truly an honor to be a Spartan. Cannot wait to get back out there for our next set of games coming up 2 weeks from now against the Atlanta Mad Hatters. Again, Nashville Spartans hockey, USPHL hockey, Crazy Charlie Saunier. It sure seems like all of these things were meant to go together. It was great being a part of that celebration all weekend. A live concert, a tailgate, hundreds of people coming out to the first home game for the Spartans at the Nolensville rink. It was a very, very incredible special, and it's something that's going to be remembered by an awful lot of hockey players, support staff, coaches, and even off-ice crew for years and years to come. It's an awesome, awesome thing to be a part of, and I'm so happy to be a part of a hockey organization. Ownership, management, everyone over there has just been so fantastic to work with so far. Can't wait to work with them again coming up real soon. Now, time to rest the voice, time to heal up, time to get ready for 3 shows this week, as we'll be back on after closing up this game Tuesday night. We'll wrap it up in the bunker right here. We'll sum up everything that happened in Edmonton. Thursday, we'll be back in the bunker covering everything that happened in Calgary. And then, of course, over the weekend, Saturday, Vancouver. And then we'll have USPHL updates. We'll have Admirals updates, and we'll have all the other updates from across the hockey landscape here in Middle Tennessee. to see. Listen, that last game sure was shit, but the Nashville Predators have 5 games coming up on the road away from the microscope to hopefully get it together. They need to get it together. I do not want to cover a whole bunch of shutouts for the Nashville Predators, unless, of course, UC Saros is getting those shutouts. That makes it a little bit more fun. That also makes people want to watch the show more often. Appreciate you guys. Bad hockey, tough to cover, even tougher to watch and listen to being covered. So for all of you Renegades of Puck, you sure are putting in the jam and the hard minutes right now, and I have a lot of respect and a lot of love for you doing that. I know you want the Nashville Predators to be coming out on top in every one of these games, and I know you want the show to be a lot more fun, a lot more jovial, and you mostly want to hear us talking about the Predators doing good things. Thank you for sticking with us through the difficult times. You've done it plenty of times before, and we're quite certain you're going to have to do it again if you stick with us long enough. We're not going anywhere. Show number 671 in the books for each and every one of the Renegades of Puck. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Stick taps, love, respect.